I don't know, the new medic looks like he has a flamethrower though, so I don't know.
Heal it with fire.
That's Hyde's philosophy.
I like how you joke about it, but that is an actual thing.
Yeah.
It's called
Oh yeah,
cauterizing wounds.
yeah, it's called cauterizing the wound.
And before he's a better Lazarus.
But I don't know, the other hunters are making me really wonder what they're gonna be like, because if the next support kind of I don't know, it just sort of feels like it would be Sunny. I don't know why. It just sort of seems like something Sunny would have, or that person would have as Sunny. I don't know.
Okay. And fusion plant. Let me go ahead and add you, Dylan Fry. Oops. As for you, Troll, I did add you to the chat, so please join. Let me look for somebody. Friends. Add a friend. Ugh. I'm getting close to my friends list cap. I think I might start getting rid of people that I haven't seen log on. Last online 989 days ago. Awesome. I think I'm going to get rid of some of these people then. Oh, I remember this person. We used to play the shiz out of Left 4 Dead. Ah, nostalgia. Okay. Ooh, we've got a bucket. Mr. Bucket. Bucket. Need talent trees for the game. Ooh, Markov with the support rifle. Bucket with the Arctic gun. Laz with I can't tell because Bucket's gun is retardedly big in covering it. And Hank with the Predator skin. Ooh, yeah. Safety zone. After this, I might play a few games, just because I do know that I have been asked a lot for me to play games, and I think I might play some of the people that people think are rejects, like Torvald. I know Bucket's not popular. I'm not a big fan of Bucket anyway. I'm 100% for the idea that Bucket should be skinned as an assault and change his UAV somehow. But I just don't. I don't think he's a support. He doesn't bring anything to the team that Hank or Cabot or Sunny brings. Like he doesn't bring enough DPS to make me want to pick him over somebody else. I don't know. And his UAV is terrible. I dislike his UAV. I feel that I'd rather have somebody in person be close to the monster, because then you can actually hear. But like I said, yeah. Yeah, and that's another thing I'm not a big fan of. The game is, I agree with Troll, the game is extremely bursty, which means that shields help cover that kind of situation. I like that the monster brought the monster down here. Reavers will actually follow a stage 1 monster, so the fact that he brought them under here is very, very important. You know, if you're ever sneaking, always learn from that. And this is going to bring, not this guy, I bet you anything, the spotter. If he eats a spotter, it's going to be the carrion birds. Don't do it. Okay, good. This guy's going to be a carrion bird, though. No, wow. I could have sworn that he would have been able to. But he is ready to evolve. You can sometimes hide behind here and sometimes fool the hunters, but not always. I mean, it's not a very thick waterfall. Looks like Bucket's UAV is not spotting the hunters. Looks like the monster is going to evolve. I don't know if they're going to be able to punish him for it. And that's the one thing I hate about the Wraith more than anything else, is that it's so quiet when it evolves. It's terribly quiet. So 3 Supernova, nice. While I dislike Supernova because I don't think it's a great ability, I also like people that don't necessarily flock to the... I love how that's an X button. I always think it's like I have a controller plugged in. And push X to retrieve the UAV. It'd be cool if you could eat the UAV or something, like once you pick it up on the ground. Ooh, that'd be a cool UAV. If you tag the monster and you recover the UAV, then maybe all damage to the monster is increased by like 50% for the duration of that tag. See, that would make that. See, Bucket just needs something. He needs a little. Like his turrets are okay. Like I actually think inside of a dome he's good, but his UAV just has. Whoa, that was a very off. Oh, he was trying to get the flying head. I can't think. Oh, here comes a dome. Dome comes down. Monster at full armor, half evolution, and has a good situation to be in. The Trapper all by himself. I love the assault, stopping himself before getting Warp Blast. Not a great spot to use Supernova. You like to use Supernova when a hunter's in the corner, and then you pop it. You don't really want to do it while it's up in the air or anything like that. There we go. Warp Blast misses a little too high. Looks like he's just trying to do Sky Wraith type stuff. Stay up in the air, away from everyone else. So the advantage of Sky Wraith against this team is that Bucket's not going to really hit you with rockets. That being said, I want to put together a funny video with Bucket. I don't know which map is feasible, and I don't really want to tell my idea for now, because I think it's going to be hilarious if I ever am not lazy enough to do it. But I have to figure out what map would be good for it. I know that doesn't really help, and it just makes people go, well, why don't you tell us? So here we go. Task Force about to go down. And here comes a Supernova. Supernova is going to allow the monster to burn him down. And here we go. Bucket going after with the Supernova now. Here's an Abduct, and Silver goes down as well. Now it's all going to be up to Deadbirth and the Assault. So the Assault needs to be doing a lot of punishing damage. Now, one thing to be careful of is you don't want to have... Oh, and there we go. Body gets eaten. You don't want to wait too long for some situation like that. So just be careful, and Laz getting out of there. But be very, very careful about having 2 bodies down at the same time, because that means that one of you is going to have to come out and shoot the monster off the body, most likely. The one downside to Markov in this lineup is that Markov does not punish body camping as well as other hunters. He's consistent damage and he's good against certain monsters and abilities, but against body campers I feel he's one of the weaker ones, just because he doesn't really have a lot of burst punishment. And then here comes Laz. Laz disappears like a ninja, because Laz is a pale ninja. There we go, getting some more food, almost ready to evolve. Looks like only a few more bites of food, and off you go. And here comes, I like that they're putting pressure on. The reason why is because there's no reason not to, because if you get down, Laz will just pick you up. And I actually feel that doing aggression outside of a dome is usually better, because it doesn't force Laz to commit to something he's not ready for. I love the cloak by Bucket there, because then the hunters, or the monster doesn't know where Bucket is, and Bucket going to get dropped down. If he can get killed, might be able to actually eat the body. Needs to be very careful. Now, Markov needs to do a great job keeping the monster off, and there we go, eating another body. I really need to be very, very careful with that. You know, mines are okay, but mines are more of a secondary when you don't have line of sight of the monster. And I feel that right there should have been a lot better. Oh, it looks like Laz? I don't know if you saw Laz or not. There we go. So Laz, footprints going this way. Needs to be very careful. 2 Senkets, and the dropship souvenirs are going to be deposited. And there we go. Laz goes down and should be able to go ahead. Has enough armor and health that I feel it would be better just to wipe him out. Misses the Abduct. And here comes a Warp Blast. Misses because it's too short for duration. And again, I feel like just going after Laz is totally worth it here. And there we go. Laz is out for the count, which means once you get armor, he's going to have very, very easy strikes to do now. So you just need to be very careful. And with Bucket, you generally want to have a nest turret, a nest of turrets, and basically fight around that engagement area. You know, you want to kind of force the monster to fight on your terms. And the thing about Wraith is literally, like, worst case scenario, go to the relay at stage 3. Like, the Wraith has such a difficult time breaking a defensive barrier that if you set it up, there's no reason to be super aggressive. Because if you have no strikes on your team, it can be very hard for a Wraith to do any permanent damage to anyone. And here we go, getting ready for the stage 3 evolution. It's evolution, baby. I don't know why I sounded really dumb right then. And here we go. So hunters are falling back. It looks like they're going to be setting up. Now that they fixed this little area and you can't go up on top of them, thank goodness, this is no longer a good area to fight for the most part. It's very wide open. It does have a little bit of towers you can kind of zigzag around. But in here, you also don't want to be because of Supernova. And if the hunters already know that the Wraith has Supernova, so there's a good chance that you don't want to be in a confined area. So it looks like that they're just kind of setting up Markov with the man with the golden gun. Yep, it looks like that they're just setting up defenses here. I like some of these mine locations. Oh, and the monster is coming by. Misses the abduct. Bucket cloaks. There's a turret. Does hit Bucket. And Hadrosaur getting pinned with the Supernova. Getting pulled back into the Supernova. And taking a little bit of damage through his personal shield. So Warp Blast to try and finish him off. And it looks like a couple of hero hunters, I almost said heroes, are almost dead. So that's another thing to be wary of is against Laz, is you don't want to have several people down at the same time, because Laz has a hard time trying to res several people when there aren't that many. So now the Wraith might try and eat this body. Yep, because that's what this Wraith likes to do. Nice keeping it off by Task Force. That's an excellent job. Laz needs to start catching up so that he can get away. But Task's doing an impeccable job keeping the monster off the corpse. And I like... There we go. Keep the monster off. And it's going to force Laz to go in. And there we go. Task brought back. But it's going to put everybody right in range for a Warp Blast. Looks like only Hadrosaur got hit with it, which is a very good job. Dead, going to try and get one last res at the last second, but doesn't look like he gets to it in time, and unfortunately goes down with the rest. So now there's just 2 hunters left, the Assault and Trapper. The monster's still well above half health, and is looking in a wonderful position to continue on the fight without worrying too much. And there we go, now it's just Task once again. Task trying to do a little bit of damage. Obviously not going to be able to survive for a minute and a half. And there goes the Hunter team. Good game, though.
I don't know, there was just a couple pounces I was surprised that even got me.
Yeah, I was surprised that.
Yeah, there was like 1 pounce where I jumped off to the side and he jumped forward and he still managed to get me.
GG.
Welcome to
GG.
Yeah,
GG.
Good game. So the Wraith was doing a really good job. Was once you down 2 hunters, then it was only the Assault and Medic left, and you were able to eat the corpse because there was only 2 hunters. So that's one thing to be aware of, is that a good strategy is to get multiple hunters down at the same time, because it forces the Medic to make a move that he might not be ready for. The one thing I would probably say is that if you ever have, especially against a wraith, because wraiths are used to fighting like this anyway. But against any monster, always once somebody goes down and somebody's dead from being down, make sure you always have somebody in line of sight to prevent the body eating, just because that's really, really, really important. I know that when there were 2 bodies down, I think the assault was just line of sight issues, but the second time when the other person went down again, the assault was putting mines up. And don't get me wrong, mines are good, but I think it would have been much more important to prevent the body from being eaten, because that really made a big difference, is because once the body was eaten, Laz's ability didn't work, and then there wasn't very much pressure for the monster to be had. The monster was in a pretty commanding position for the most part, so he could take easier risks. Then that was a really good play about abducting. I liked how you sat on a corpse and you abducted a hunter to you, and you still did that, so if it did get res, you could warp blast everybody at the same time. And you tried doing that, but it only hit Hadrosaur at the very end by hitting the assault, and the other 2 were able to get away. But that's exactly the kind of mentality you want. Really well done. I also loved that you went and provoked the Reavers to follow you underneath. A lot of people don't realize how the Reaver mechanic works at stage 1, and that they will follow you a good distance, and so you were able to bring them into an area that wouldn't have carrion birds. So really, really good job.
Yep. Thanks.
Okay, I think we're going to do one more, and we will change up the game a little bit, and then let's go ahead and let's do a different map.